Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we proudly present our spectacular show of podcast magic and imagination full of Disney wonder, news, and pop culture. It's the Main Street Electrical Podcast with Jenn and David Dollar.
Hey, Jen.
Hey, Dave.
It's the Main Street Electrical Podcast. Welcome back to the Main Street Electrical Podcast. That is Jen, and I am Dave, and we're here back another week to give you more magic, frivolity, and fun, and pixie dust, and all that fun stuff. And we have got a great show lined up for you here. We've already done the interview you're going to hear in a few minutes with Skywalking Through Neverland, Rich and Sarah from over in California. So much fun. So much fun. We talk about Disneyland. We talk about Rich's new book, and we'll get to all that in just a minute. But Jen, how did you Disney this week?
Well, I'm Disneying currently by wearing my Disney shirt.
Of course, I see that.
Of course, I am also I also Disneyed by introducing my niece and nephews to the Emperor's New Groove.
Oh, fun!
Yeah,
fun. There's so much of that movie that I want to talk about because the backstory to that movie is so insane. People
it's
like
so
that
good.
movie and it's so much fun or whatever, but there's so much behind the scenes drama to that film and how it got made and how it started out as one thing and ended up something 180 degrees different than how it started, and how Sting, the artist, not the wrestler, got angry because of this, that, and the other, and just its power plays.
So much.
We might have to do an episode on that, on just that movie.
We should.
We really should.
Yeah, we should.
We'll mark that down as one of the 4,000 topics that we've got coming up at some point. So for me, I Disneyed, of course. I got my Marvel shirt on this week as well. Jen, there is a number of Disney shirts out there that I want, and every time
I know
I'm now becoming the Disney Hawaiian shirt guy. I'm that for so many people. My friend Agent Lindsay sent me a link to a shirt that I'm like, yes, I want that shirt. What the heck? And she was like, I immediately thought of you, and I'm like, of course you did. You all did. The Spaceship Earth shirt. There's a whole saga here that I ordered. Apparently the wrong size got sent to me. It's extra small. Well, they sold out, so now I'm sending it back. But I send it back and get a refund, or I can get store credit on the store that I bought it from, plus 15%. So my whole Disney this week has been like, shirt. I don't know. Do I need to spend another $60 on a shirt? No. So because we have the interview coming up with Skywalking Through Neverland, we're going to just hop on a real quick bit of news here, Jen. The Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party details were released.
Yes.
Which we're very excited about. The tickets go on sale to resort guests. So if you have a resort package for this fall for Christmas, the Christmas season, they go on sale, well, when you're hearing this on release day of this podcast, today. Tickets start at a whopping $149, and those are for a few dates in early November, and they go all the way up to $199, which are your December Christmas week dates, the 20th and 22nd, and they vary somewhere in there. Whatever the price is, take $10 off, and that's the kids' prices.
That's the kids' price,
right.
Right.
Of course, it's as usual as we predicted. It's 7 to midnight. Ticket holders can get into the Magic Kingdom as early as 4 o'clock, and you don't even have to use a park ticket. You can just use your ticket itself, which is really, really cool. So yeah, it's a lot of things are going to be happening. Of course, the food and the character costumes, which always cracks me up that the characters have on costumes because the characters are costumed. Anyway, it's like a whole layer of things. The Christmas parade, the Christmas fireworks. I'm excited about this.
It's going to be great. I know. I love it.
It's just yet another thing of we're back. And honestly, okay, so the movies are back. The box office did really great this week with several new movies making over $20 million per movie at the box office. And that sounds like low for Hollywood, but that's the first time that's happened in a long time.
But it's a lot. Yeah, for right
lot.
now.
The parks are full. Jen, I would say, honestly, by 2023, I feel like we will be completely back to normal. I mean,
I think that's what all the projections really are, is that, things are kind of like still in rebuilding in some way, shape, or form, just obviously with things going on. But, everyone is sort of predicting 2023. So that's good.
Yeah, I feel like we will get news on some of the restaurants that haven't opened yet, like the 1900 Park Fair. I haven't heard anything.
We haven't heard anything.
I'm just guessing that's what's coming. Because I miss my Mary Poppins and Tigger Pooh, Alice and Mad Hatter breakfast in my strawberry soup. I miss my chilled strawberry soup. Bring it back, Jen. Bring it back.
Oh, I wish.
In other news that may or may not be happy to some people, Bob Chapek renewed for 3 more years his contract. So yeah, let's move past that. Just want to make that announcement real quick. Also, there is a final thing here. There's a rumor going around, and this is actually reported on several sites. And we want to say right here, right off the top, it is a rumor. No, nothing is official.
Totally rumor.
Chances are there's a bit of this that might be true, but it'll come in different ways than what I'm going to tell you. But
that's almost always how these are.
Disney is going to say, you know what? Now you have to have a park reservation for any park you want to hop to. Now, as it stands, you have a park pass reservation for the parks you go to early in the morning, so for Epcot or Hollywood or whatever. But if you want to jump parks at 2 o'clock, you can get into any other park, and it doesn't matter. Just go to the park. Well, there's a rumor going around that Disney now may make you declare ahead of time which park you want to go to. But I'm also hearing that they may pull the park hopping time back if you do this. So my question to you, Jen, is, now obviously the answer is scrap it all, no reservations, no park hopping.
That would be lovely.
Or if you have reservations, then, don't do any park hopping time. Just, maybe spend 2 hours in the first park and then hop at like 10 or something. Would you be okay with having to declare ahead of time the park you're going to hop to if it meant that park hopping time was pulled back to like 12 or even 11 in the morning?
I mean, I'd adapt to it. If that's what I have to do. I mean, because I'm thinking there are times when I book one in Epcot because, Epcot is huge and there's a lot of restaurants. So we like to go eat in Epcot. That might be something that we would be okay planning. But sometimes we do just like to feel it out. I mean, there are a lot of days where we're like, oh, let's head to Magic Kingdom tonight, just because it's open till whatever time, we can stay late. Let's do this. So, I mean, I'd be okay with it. I hate the 2 p.m. park hopping time. I hate it. It needs to be moved back. It needs to be like
definitely. I agree.
Latest.
I agree.
Just because sometimes I only have a few things I want to do, and then I'm ready to go to Epcot or Epcot because that's my park. Right, so like let's get there. Again, I'd adapt. It's not my favorite idea because it's more planning that I think is harder to do. Because you don't know what you're going to feel like that day. That's why you get a park hopper, so you have some flexibility.
Yeah, I agree. It is one of those things where the park hopping now, it kind of, when we vacation in the past, we've always gotten park hoppers. And a lot of times, we'll have maybe a full day at Magic Kingdom, and the second day at Magic Kingdom, we only want to do breakfast. Like the only day we could get was Thursday for Cinderella's Castle for the breakfast. But after we're done with breakfast, we're going to shoot over to Epcot to get there right around opening time so we can do Epcot for the day. But you can't do that now. Now you have to wait till 2, even though we've done everything. Or let's just say you go to Epcot, you've done the things you wanted to do for the entire day. You go to Garden Grill because it's the only day you can get Garden Grill was on Thursday morning. You're at breakfast, whatever. We're done with breakfast at 9:30. We're walking out. Now we're like, well, we really need to go to Magic Kingdom to do half the day there because we've done everything at Epcot we want to do, and now we just got to hang out until 2 o'clock. And so there is some of that adaptation. And really, I'm speaking to the people who go to the parks a lot.
Yes.
Honestly, I think I would be okay with it to declare a park that I was going to go to ahead of time if it meant park hopping earlier. If I could say, you know what, I'm looking ahead on my schedule. We're gonna go to Animal Kingdom, but we're gonna have Animal Kingdom breakfast at Tuscan House, and then we're gonna park hop to Hollywood. I'm okay with declaring that. 30 days.
We would adapt. Yeah.
It does take away some of the spontaneity, and but yeah, and honestly, I agree with you. I wish they would pull back the park hopping time, or just scrap it all together, or just say, you know what, park hopping reservations. If you're going to do park pass reservations, then obviously you have to have a time to park up, because otherwise people would walk into a park and walk right back out.
Correct.
So make it a 2-hour thing, make it a 3-hour thing, or that kind of thing. Make it you're there till 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock or 3 hours after opening or something. But I get that. But 2 o'clock is just
it's a lot.
Cool. It's not cool. So anyway, all right. So that little bit of news wrapped up. Let's get to our conversation with Rich and Sarah Woloski. They are based in California. They have this podcasting empire, Skywalking Thru Neverland, which is interesting. Jen, when they at the end of the show, when they went through the podcast they have, were you kind of blown away by the?
I was like, I don't think I realized there were this many podcasts.
Yeah, me too.
In this network. I mean, it's fantastic.
Oh, y'all do that one too.
Okay.
Which was crazy. I was like, wow, those. I mean, and they have a team too. It's not just the two of them.
But they're wonderful.
But they're great people. They're so much
wonderful.
fun. We dive into Rich's book. We talk about Disneyland And I threw a little curveball right before the show because originally we were going to just talk about our 5 favorite things happening at Disneyland right now. And as Jen knows, sometimes I will throw a curveball and say, what if we take that topic and tweak it just a bit and say this instead? It caught everybody off guard, but they adapted wonderfully. That's my fault. I'll take that. But my best ideas are always at the last minute. It just happens that way. And so Jen, you and I are going to enjoy this conversation with Skywalking Thru Neverland. Let's go. And welcome back to the show, Richard and Sarah, a.k.a. Skywalking Thru Neverland, building the Skywalking Thru Neverland empire over there on the West Coast. Books and products and podcasts and a website. And you guys are what we will be hopefully in a couple of years. So it's you guys are awesome.
Wait, books? Are we writing books?
Well, we hadn't got that far yet, but we're getting there. I'm sure we're getting there. Welcome back to the show, guys.
Well, thank you for having us. Always a pleasure to see your 2 smiling faces.
Yes, it's great to be on the Main Street Electrical Podcast.
Woohoo! That's us. That is us. All right, so first question, top of the show. Rich, how did you Disney this week?
How did I Disney this week? I Disneyed this week by yearning to go back to Disneyland.
That's fair.
Yeah, the summertime is a really, really busy time in our business, so we don't get a chance to go to Disneyland all that often. So I just look at your background where you're showing off Galaxy's Edge, and
I took this picture 2 months ago.
I'm withdrawing. I'm having withdrawals as we speak.
Well, funnily enough, Richard, a bunch of our Skywalkers had a meetup in Galaxy's Edge on Saturday.
Without
They
you.
did the whole day together. We couldn't go because we were working straight on from last Monday straight on through today at 4:58 p.m.
If you want to do this sometime on a Tuesday in March, we're right there. But you want to do it in June?
Yeah.
Your children have gone on. They don't need the parents anymore. They grow up so fast.
It's really true. It was really funny to see all the faces of all of our Skywalkers, and they've all met each other through our podcast and our meetups.
Especially speaking of the children, there are a bunch of kids who are no longer kids.
Yeah.
I think they're older than me now.
They're teenagers. Wow. It's crazy.
Y'all have been doing the show, 7 or 8 years now?
Going on 9 years.
9 years, yeah.
Going on 9 years.
Yeah, because you're close to 400, is that right?
Yeah, we're gonna release 376 this week.
Yeah, I knew it was up there. I knew it was getting.
We already released 376.
Then 377.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, lately we've been so busy that we've had there's so much content. We've had to release 2 episodes a week for the last month.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because it just keeps coming. It just keeps coming.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'll have 7-hour episodes trying to keep up with everything. And so, I guess that's the myth is that you guys live so close to Disneyland. It's they could just hop to Disneyland whenever they want. I want to go ride Space Mountain. I guess I'll just leave right now and go do it. And I guess that's just not true.
There's a big difference between want and can.
Right. Right.
We want to, but can we? No. Whoa, this stupid bill collector comes around every month, knocking on the door, demanding his rent pay.
Yeah.
And
it's really rude, quite honestly.
It very much is.
It's just rude.
Yeah, and I'm installing a trap door right now where he plunges down to a Rancor pit, but maybe I've said too much.
Well,
I want to start going, pull the lever, wrong. It's the wrong.
I saw a meme today with, and I can't remember the character's name, but Wallace Shawn from Princess Bride, and it's basically when you cheat on your taxes, and he says the line, you're trying to steal what I've rightfully stolen, and yeah, that's pretty much the IRS. Don't audit us.
Yeah, and then there's them too.
I didn't say it.
Sarah,
how did you Disney this week?
So I Disneyed this week in the future. Tomorrow I'm buying Oogie Boogie Bash tickets.
Ooh,
so very excited.
So cool.
Yes. We're going to see how long it will take us to buy those tickets, of course, because I think they have a queue and they let about one person in every 10 minutes.
Right.
So it takes 8 hours.
Yep. No, those go on sale tomorrow. Is that right?
They do for Magic Key holders.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay,
and
that's right.
23 members.
That's right. Because there's a couple of days out before the general public gets them. Because I have a client going to Disneyland in the fall and they want Oogie Boogie tickets, and I'm like, okay, I'm watching the dates, and when you said that, I was like, wait, is this tomorrow? But it's key holders. Gotcha.
Key holders tomorrow.
Yes.
Gotcha. All right. So first thing we want to get to is I want to talk about Today in Star Wars history, part 1, January through June. And let me just take out my background here real quick so you can see my lovely bedroom here behind me. But also, I want to be able to show this out right because this is a very, very cool book. There it is. This is a magnificent book. It really is. It's full color. It's very thick. It basically goes day by day, and it's not like one little thing where it's like, on January 19th, Disney XD airs Idiot's Array, the 11th episode of Star Wars, and then you go to January 20th. No. There are sometimes 2 and 3 pages per date because there's so much happening. I mean, it's an incredibly put together book. There's trivia in here, and I would imagine, Rich, this probably took you a good week or two to write, put together. I mean, maybe 2 or 3 weeks.
I did it on my lunch break. Yeah, I had to go to half hour to kill. It's like, I'll write a book. Got nothing else to do.
That's brilliant. I love that you can knock it out that fast.
Now I'm going to ask you the typical writer questions. What made you decide to write this kind of a book? I know you guys are huge Star Wars fans, Marvel fans, Disney fans all around, hence Skywalking Thru Neverland. But what made you sit down and go, you know what? I want to write a Star Wars history book. And was it this kind of book, or was it something else you were kind of wanting to do, or how did it come into this book?
Well, I started writing this before everyone here was born. Yes, that's how long.
No.
Yes, that's how long I've been working on this before y'all were born. Okay,
so 75 for me, 1991 for Jenn. I'm sure that's it. Yeah,
close enough.
1991.
we might be off by 10 years or so, but sure,
whatever. Just go with it, Jenn. Just go with it.
I mean,
so back in the late 70s, when 1977, when Star Wars came out, there was only so much memorabilia coming out. Like today, you blink and 15 new products have hit the shelves. So whenever I would buy a Star Wars book or Star Wars magazine, I would write down the interesting facts that I took from the book or magazine, and one of these categories was dates. For no reason in particular. I was a horrible history student in school. But for some reason, these Star Wars, I just wanted to know every little detail about Star Wars. And pretty soon this date folder got thicker and thicker and thicker. And I started writing them down in a better area, in a better way that I could keep track of them. And when I got a computer, I thought, you know what, I'm going to start writing these all down just so I don't lose them. And this is the new way of things, the computer. And got out my floppy disk, my big hard drive, and I wrote them all down, and it just kept on going. It just became an obsession after a while. I would go into a bookstore or a Barnes and Noble, and I would always bring like a steno pad and a pencil. Just if I saw a date, I'd just be writing things down. And it just became something that I just would constantly do. And then this new thing called the internet came around. It's like, I don't need to go to a bookstore anymore. Walden Books, you've lost my patronage.
No, I can look stuff up.
It's all right here, and I can cut and paste. and it just kept on going. And then one day, a friend of ours named Russ Flores, the author of Seen Unseen Disneyland, he said, "Hey, Rich, are you gonna write a book?" It's like, I wasn't until now.
And when was this? Like 2014?
This was like 2014,
oh my God.
2015.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things. And every time he would see me, he's like the biggest cheerleader. He would always say, "Rich, how's the book coming?" It's like, the book. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I was doing that.
And then, when I make a promise, I like to keep my promise. So like, well, I said I was going to write a book. So now I got to go ahead and write a book. And I just kept on going and going and going. And the more I would do it, it's like, hey, this is really fun. And I can see this pinprick of a light at the end of a tunnel. And over years and years, I would just keep on writing it and fact checking and keep on putting more and more content in there. And then when Disney bought Star Wars, even a tidal wave. So there was so much to keep track of. I just had to have it all. I just couldn't stop at 1 or 2 dates. I just had to have every single date in there. It became an obsession, and I was not going to let Disney beat me at this. So yeah, you want to release some stuff? Go ahead. I'll write it down. Go ahead and tempt me, Disney. You go ahead and put out some more content, put out some more Disney shows and comic books and novel. Yeah, I'll write it all down. Don't think I won't.
So the day that you turned in the book for publishing, the day that it was submitted and everything, Was there something like the next day that happened that you're like, oh, I missed this piece of information by 7 hours?
That's something that Sarah can answer, because just when I thought the whole book was locked, the whole book was done, it was finished, so I gave it to Sarah so she could design it in InDesign and lay it all out with pictures and everything. She said, Rich, you can't change anything else. Well,
oh no!
Want to take it from here?
Well, so then, what do we have come out? Obi-Wan Kenobi,
and then a whole flood of Obi-Wan content started coming out. It's like
that.
Oh, Sarah, I gotta make this updated where I put in some Obi-Wan entries. She's like, no, you can't. It's like, give me a minute, okay? And I come back and she's like, Rich, I gotta start all over again.
Well, no, yeah. So I think months. January through March, I had to redo completely because because once you change the text, that changes the flow of everything and where the pictures are and everything else. And because the book is it's like based on the date, January 1st, but then if you have one entry in January 1st that overflows on another page, that means January 2nd has to start on the next page after that. So it's like it's a cascading problem if anything changes.
So there are many nights where I slept outside. Yeah.
Did it? And maybe I feel like I saw a post on this maybe a year or two ago that you had decided it had to be 2 volumes, like it was just too much information. Or did you go into this going, you know what, this is probably going to be 2 volumes. I'm going to try, but at some point, did you think it was just going to be 2 no matter what?
Yeah, a couple of factors came into that. One, it was going to be the size of one of the first editions of the Bible.
Right.
It was going to be a large tome.
Thick.
Yeah, very, very thick, and it would just be very, very unwieldy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the other factor was Star Wars Celebration was coming out, and you know how long it takes to input each month into the book and then lay out and design it and then add the pictures and then index everything. Like it's this step-by-step process that just takes an actual physical amount of time. So physically there was no way possible that we were going to be able to finish and edit and do everything, the entire book by Star Wars Celebration. And that's when we wanted to get the book out. So it was, I think, March when we said, okay, we need to break this up.
Well, we didn't. You did.
I did.
You
did.
Yes, he said,
that was my idea.
And I said, no. And I was kicking and screaming, and
the next
neighbors complained. Dogs were howling. Mass hysteria. And then I finally acquiesced and said, okay, all right, you're right. Let's break it into 2 volumes.
Yeah.
I love it. I think, honestly, though, you've got a great opportunity for, I guess, the next 2, because you'll do a volume 2, and then you can do like an updated, smaller volume of here's the year in review of things that we missed over the last 2 years or whatever, and just kind of chop through. And I'll tell the audience that, and we'll have the link on the website, the mscpodcast.com. The book is $25 for paperback, which is what I have, and it's $50 for hardcover. It is worth it. If you're a Star Wars fan, and a lot of times, there are books that people write, and they're like $15, $20. I'm like, I'm going to spend $20 on your paperback. Maybe. I'll take the audio if you got it, whatever. This is totally worth it. This is, it's beautifully bound. It's a keepsake. This is like a coffee table book that you can just pick up at any time. This is well done, Richard. I will say well done on this book. It looks fantastic.
Well, thank you.
Well done on
very
both
much.
of you, actually, because I know it was a team effort. I know that.
Well,
that's incredible.
Yeah.
It really took a village, because Sarah's dad made the mistake of saying, hey, Rich, if you want, I can proofread it for you. Oh, you can.
Okay.
Yeah, and I had one proofreader named Justin Berger who wrote a Star Wars book, and he was great going through everything and trying to find the grammatical errors, which there's a ton of. But then I needed someone else who didn't really know Star Wars, who could look at it and go, now, I'm not sure what you're trying to say here, and what do you mean by they or them, or what is this over here, and I'm not sure what you're referring to. Someone who didn't know Star Wars inside and out and could read between the lines. So it was very invaluable to have that kind of input, because it really made it a much smoother book. It was has a nice flow to it, if you don't mind me saying, because of all these changes and I'm the worst when it comes to tenses, like past, present, current tense. They were all in the same sentence. Like, well, what point of view are you writing from? So he caught a lot of that. Sarah caught a lot of that, and I really wanted every single date to be in the present tense. So not Star Wars was released on May 25th, but Star Wars is released.
I love it.
That was very important to have it all. And he caught all those kind of things. Another friend, Michael Coate, who is very militant on small details. He went in there and combed through it and made a lot of corrections. Some things that you'd find on one way. And he's one of those researchers who just keeps on digging and digging and digging until he finds the actual thing. He'll go through old newspapers from the 70s and 80s to find these facts. And I had him go through a lot of stuff, especially when it comes to the releases of the films. What was released in 70 millimeter versus 35 millimeter versus drive-ins. Like,
and how many theaters?
Yeah.
Like each fact in that book is meticulously checked and gone over, and there is a bibliography available online because that was too big to print and still keep it at that price point.
Oh my God.
And that added in 10 more pages. So I thought, okay, let's bring the price down and put that on the website. A couple more shout outs. Anthony Daniels I wrote out to him, who he fact checked a couple of things for me. Billy D. Williams, his son.
What did they know? Were they even there?
Exactly. Craig Miller, Eric Walker, so many people involved in Star Wars. Whereas this is all firsthand accounts where if I went to go check on something on one website and I would cross check it on another website, and if it didn't match up, it's like, okay, I got to find the truth here. And I would reach out to these actors, authors, publishers, and anyone I can to find the actual truth. And needless to say, there's a lot of incorrect information out there on the dark web.
I am sure.
Yeah. So and I wanted this to be the ultimate Star Wars reference book. If there was any question about any validity, why not? I couldn't put it in there if I couldn't fact check it to the ultimate point.
Right. Like we don't have Heir to the Empire release date in there by Timothy Zahn because there was no actual release date. The publisher would just send it to the
Barnes and Noble, Walden Books,
and they would just put it out when they got it on their shelves. So there was no actual release date.
Yeah, which is a bummer. I reached out to Timothy Zahn. He's like, I got no idea.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I owned a copy of Heir to the Empire, and I never read it. I had it as a kid. I never read it because I never understood where it fit into the Star Wars lore and how it fit into the Star Wars. If it's even canon, I have no idea. Or is it legacy? But I do have, from my childhood, Rich, one question, and I haven't studied the book yet to see if it's in there, but I need to know when Star Wars the movie premiered on HBO.
February 1st, 1983.
That is amazing, and I'm glad you knew that because I have my own movie book, an overall movie book that I've been writing off and on for the last 4 or 5 years, and there was a story that I tell about my first time seeing Star Wars, which was when it premiered on HBO that night. And so February 1st, 1983, that is crucial to put in there. That's great because I saw Empire at the theater in 1980, probably the second or third week. There's no way to know how long after the release I saw it. But Star Wars, I know that I saw because they used to come out with the little HBO books, and it would tell you like in 3 months Star Wars, and on the back of the thing in 2 months Star Wars, and then finally next month Star Wars, and then so the January issue obviously next month Star Wars, and so now I know, and that's good. I can actually put that information into my document. My book that will never get finished.
It's right there. It's right.
That's awesome. See, I hadn't gotten February yet. And I probably would have scoured that actually pretty soon because I just thought I was like, well, I need to find that out. But that's amazing. That's fantastic.
It would have been a bummer if that had been in part 2.
Right? I knew it was in the spring or the winter or spring. I knew it was early in the year. I knew that.
Yeah, I knew that from the top of my head because that was the day I stopped going to 8th grade. Star Wars is on TV. Yeah, I'm sorry, teachers, but you know what? If I could learn about math, which I'll never use. I don't need to know about algebra
Because we'll have these
because of
phones.
iPhones. Or I can stay home and watch Star Wars on HBO and Cinemax and Showtime. Come on, it's a no-brainer.
Oh, I had it circled in that little HBO guide because it was coming on like 50 times in the month, and I had it circled every time. And I would beg my parents to wake me up at like 11 o'clock at night because I'm like, I only want to see the Death Star scene. It'll come on like 11:15 or so because the movie comes on at 9. It'll be like 2 hours of it, whatever. Just wake me up. And they're like, no, you're 9. We're not waking you up. I'm like, please. So yeah,
I don't know how I ever passed 8th grade. I really should not have passed 8th grade. That's how much I missed. I passed, I have no idea.
It was a seminal moment for me. I mean, watching Star Wars, I was just blown away. And it's the only one I can tell you that I specifically remember watching on HBO. Like I've seen thousands of movies on cable, HBO, Showtime, or whatever, but that's the only one I can definitely pinpoint and say I saw that the night it premiered on HBO. I remember the opening and how it goes. The opening scene of they used to do 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 do, and they go through the little town and they go into space.
Mr. Rogers town.
And the letters spin around. You go into it was great. And
the best part about it carried over for the next few months into May of '83. So on May 25th, 1983, I went to go see Return of the Jedi that morning and then watch Star Wars on HBO night. It's like, now it all comes together. Now I understand this.
I just need to find Empire. Somebody give me Empire.
Yeah,
if only there was a way to go rent it for the night and take it home to watch it.
Not until November of 1984.
Well, there you go. Love it. Okay, so last question on the book, Volume 2. Do you have a projected time frame, a season or a month or whatever you're shooting for?
We are shooting for Life Day of this year. That's November 17th, 2022.
Oh, okay.
That's the Life Day is the big Wookiee holiday as seen in the Star Wars holiday special.
Yes.
So okay, this is a no-brainer here, and so we will be offering a holiday special on the 2-volume set.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice. Well, then I'll just send Jen my copy, and I'll wait for the whole set to come back and
Fun?
little slip cover and everything. So awesome, love it.
Yeah.
All right, so I do want to talk a little bit about Disneyland because you're Disneyland. You know more about Disneyland than Jen and I put together at this point because she hasn't been in a few years. I went.
No, I've not been since 2020. Not a few years. Oh, wait, that is a few years.
It's a few years. Yeah, it's a few years. And I went in at the end of April, which I was really excited about. And so my wife and I got to go out there for a couple of days and experience a lot of things and just see a lot of stuff and, eat at Pim's Test Kitchen and do web slingers and whatever and have a good time. So rather than just talk about it, hey, my favorite thing about Disneyland is this, that, and the other, we're going to do what I like to call a Disneyland Draft. And so we're going to each pick 5 things each, kind of on our own little personal Disneyland team. And yes, you guys are married. You can work together as a team, but we want to see which team is going to come out the strongest, the best. You can pick anything you want, whether a ride or a restaurant or a hotel or whatever you want. So what we'll do to figure out who goes first, and it will be a snake draft. Whoever goes first, we're gonna have a little trivia contest here. Okay, so today is the anniversary that they're recording on June 27th. Today is the anniversary of Hercules being released to theaters in 1997. So a good 25 years ago, which is a little insane. So 25 years ago. So what I want you guys to do is I want you to tell me what number on the Disney roster of films did Hercules fall on? Knowing that we are now at 60 with Encanto. What number in the Disneyland canon of animated films was Hercules, released on this day in June 1997?
Are we allowed to cheat?
You're not allowed to cheat.
You're not allowed to cheat.
Whoever gets closest goes first in our little draft. So
I'm gonna guess 35.
Sarah says 35. Richard, what do you think?
I'm going to say, I'm trying so hard not to do the math in my head. I'm gonna say 29.
29. Jen, do you have a guess? What number does Hercules fall on the roster of films released?
There are 60 right now.
There are 60 right now.
Jen just left the room. I
I
think she was
did.
phoning
I
a friend. You were phoning a friend.
She had her mom look at it.
No, that actually was my niece and nephews are in town, and my one nephew just came in. He's like, "Can you be done now?" And I was like, "No."
As soon as I win this draft, yes.
No, because we've been playing all day. I'm like, guys, Aunt Jen has to record a podcast tonight. We played all day today. It's okay. But, they're like little. So there's never enough play.
Not enough at all.
Now we're going to play
adult
quiet time.
Adult time.
Adult time. We're going to talk about Disneyland.
We're going to talk right. That's very adult.
Like the two of you, Jen and Brady have no children. So she's repeatedly messaged and she's like, how do you do it with kids? How do you, I love children, but not like this.
Have you seen Harry Potter? You just stick him in under the stairs.
Does that work? Is that legal?
If it did, trust me,
legal?
We would have a cupboard under the stairs if that actually worked. So.
I'm going to say it's not legal and we don't condone it. Wink, wink.
Oh, got it. Noted.
But sometimes you got to do what you got to do. All right, so Sarah has said 35. Richard said 28. Jen, where's your number?
31.
I said 29.
31. You said 29. So
Yes.
31. The answer is actually 35. 35. So.
Did I get it?
You got it. You got it.
Oh my gosh, you got it.
Sarah will go first.
I knew that Tangled was number 50, and that was in 2010. So that's
Very good. So Sarah will go first. Jen will go second. I'm going to go third. Richard will go fourth. But because it is a snake draft, Richard will choose twice. So he will gets to go, and then it reverses back. Okay.
Okay.
So,
I see.
So that's how we're going to do it. And then we'll come back to Jen. She'll review twice. So here's how we're going to do it. It's a snake draft. So Sarah, you get to pick first anything at Disneyland to be on your Disneyland Draft team. Anything you choose. And that cannot be a whole land. You can't say, I want Avengers Campus and all that includes in it. It has to be something more particular. But otherwise, it is your choice.
Hold on. Now I got to redo my list.
I know. So this is a little different than the parameters you had given us, which was 5 things to love about Disneyland right now. So let me see. So I was kind of keeping it with right now, but I am going to go with what's happening right now, which is Fantasmic is back.
Nice.
And I love Fantasmic. And last weekend, Richard and I, we were able to go on Sunday night. Sunday nights is like our kind of date night. And we went for an hour before Fantasmic and sat and got this really awesome spot on some stairs. And we watched it together. We live streamed it on our YouTube for people. So that was exciting. And I was like crying because that music is just
so
amazing.
Pretty. It is.
Wait for us to come back. And Disneyland Fantasmic is amazing.
It's fantastic.
Awesome. It's much better than ours. It's greatly better than ours. And so
that's accurate.
So as a sidebar, Jen is used to me doing this sometimes, like right before a show. I'm like, hey, let's shift the direction a little bit. And Jen's like, that's fine. Whatever.
Do you notice it doesn't faze me at all? I'm like, all right, whatever.
And again, the reason I did that is because I thought it would make for much more great conversation rather than just like, I also have Adventure Campus. Me too. So I thought it'd be kind of fun, and I figured you guys were professionals, and you can shift and adjust as we go. And so I didn't mean to throw you off there, but
which is what I do.
Oh, it's fine.
All the time. I'm just like, oh yeah, we'll just make this up. It's good.
All right, Jen, you get number 2 in our little Disneyland draft. You cannot pick Fantasmic. Fantasmic has now been taken by Satan. So.
And we did say in these new parameters that it can be basically anything in Disneyland. Correct. I don't have to okay.
Yeah.
Oh, this is rough. I am going to take the Pirates of the Caribbean in Disneyland because it is the far superior version to Florida.
Cool.
I agree. I agree with that. I do. I like
it's just far superior.
So I like the.
It's longer too. You get a better nap.
It's like 17 minutes long or something like that, isn't it?
Right. Wait. Do I get to take Blue Bayou?
It's like 20 minutes. Oh yeah.
That's a restaurant.
Yeah, but it's kind of part, right?
No,
it is kind of part of it.
No, I wouldn't.
Oh,
I see.
I mean, if you want to take Blue Bayou next when your next go around, absolutely.
None of us. We aren't gonna pick Blue Bayou, so don't worry.
No. I just kind of wanted it as a bonus. I'm not gonna pick it by itself.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, maybe just the Monte Cristo.
By the way, Blue Bayou is so far more superior than Club 33. So far superior.
Why don't when I come out, you guys take me to Club 33, and then I'll be able to give it
that would be good, so we can kind of judge first.
You know what? But Jen, we like you.
All right, that's fair.
Well, Jen, I guess they'll just have to take us to Blue Bayou. Okay.
Well, okay.
Or Galactic Grill, or the churro cart too. We'll take it to any one of those.
So my pick at number 3 here, I'm going to pick Radiator Springs Racers.
Good one.
I think this is a brilliant ride. I am very pro keeping rides in their parks. Like I do not, I would love to see Radiator Springs Racers out here, but I don't want it out here because I want that to be Disneyland. Just like I don't want you guys to get like Toy Story, not a Slinky Dog Dash out there because that's ours, you know. I think Radiator Springs Racers is such an inventive ride. It's colorful, it's fun, it's got the characters and everything, and you know, it's almost like a test track thing where part of it's just kind of whimsical, kind of through here. All of a sudden you go really fast, and it's cool. It's a cool ride, a cool whole setup and mountain and everything. So Radiator Springs Racers is my first pick on my little Disneyland team. So Richard, you have 2 picks now.
All right, I'm gonna say, well, this kind of crosses over to Disneyland and Disney Hollywood Studios, and I gotta give them huge props for introducing the Star Wars Holiday Special into Galaxy's Edge and their merchandise.
Ooh.
Last year, they had released these Chewbacca plush dolls in the red Snuggies holding the Life Day orbs. Want to go grab it? And they had Life Day Christmas tree ornaments. And they light up orbs from Life Day. And coming up, they're going to have red Snuggies. I believe it's the end of this year in November.
God.
They're going to offer red Snuggies that anyone can wear. Look
Stop
at this.
it.
Look at that.
Stop it. Oh my gosh.
Sarah is showing everyone right now the red cloaked Chewbacca. And we didn't get them at Disneyland for the longest time because of the shipment problems that we had here. So we have a friend, BJ Priester in Florida, mail us a couple of these.
That's awesome.
And now they're there on the shelves right now. It's so funny.
Yeah, now they got a whole
Christmas
abundance of them. And there's the pins. So I've just got to hand it to them for introduce after all these years of saying we will never have the holiday special incorporated into Disneyland and in the Star Wars lore. We're going to just forget it, sweep it under the rug. But now they've acquiesced. Yeah, we have some friends over there in the story group who are big Star Wars Holiday Special fans. So we gotta come on, show love everywhere.
And even when we were on the Galactic Star Cruiser, what they had Gourmanda bites?
They had Gourmanda bites.
Yes,
Gourmanda
they do.
is the 4-armed chef played by Harvey Korman.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, you know what, you guys, whatever, this has cost $5,000, fine, it's all worth it now because you made a reference to the Star Wars Holiday Special after all these years of shunning it, of saying we're never, ever going to refer to it. And little by little, they would mention it in a book or a movie, and now it's at Galaxy's Edge. So I'm just ecstatic. I am over the moon. I'm over 2 moons about the fact that they now have holiday special
over the twin suns.
Over the twin suns.
Well, I think now we've gone past the point where people just make fun of it, and now it's become like a retro, cool, we love it, even though it's so bad. We love how bad it is kind of thing versus just, oh, that's awful. It's more of a, yes, it's awful. That's why we love it. It's great. You know,
but then you ask them, the younger fans, oh, have you seen it? Well, no, that's what I heard. It's like, don't make me think any less of you, okay? If you're gonna judge something, go and see it for yourself. Don't let others form your opinion.
So maybe
then I gotta sit down with them and have a 3-hour discussion about how the Star Wars Holiday Special is an awesome film.
So maybe everything eventually from Disney that's bad becomes cool in about 20 years. We'll be loving Stitch's Great Escape merch in like 2035. And rocket rods in like 2040, and Superstar limo stuff in about 10 years or whatever. All that stuff will be great, for us.
That's Stitch thing. That's
the one with the smell.
Oh, yeah. We will never love that. We will never, ever.
Not okay.
Yeah.
I'm with you. No.
Disney, that's a huge negative point.
No. Yes, it was a stinker.
Yeah. No pun intended.
It smelled like corn dogs, or it smelled like chili dogs. It really did.
Oh, it's disgusting.
You also grab another pick on your list.
All right, I'm gonna say, like Sarah mentioned earlier, the Oogie Boogie Bash.
Okay.
Yes. The Oogie Boogie Bash. I'm so looking forward to. We love Halloween, and this just means Halloween is that much closer.
Yep.
And every year they've really upped their game with the Oogie Boogie Bash, and really, this is the only ticketed event Disneyland has that is worth it. This is a 10. Everything else has been like a 2 or a 3. They've been the Sweethearts Night was okay, was good. It was good. Right.
Yeah.
But they've missed more than they've hit, especially with this new grad night theme. what is
Disneyland
going
After Dark or
on
at
with
night.
you, Disney? Come on.
I think there's still tickets available.
I'm sure there are.
Oh.
I'm sure there's like, hey, you know what? Let's put this out here and see who actually gets tickets for this. Every one of them is just such a huge letdown, and I'm just so disappointed at this. And even the Star Wars night, it's like, this is stuff that you should have out anyway. Where's the shows? We want to see bigger things. They're what was it, the Merriest Nights, the Christmas?
Merriest Nights.
They had like a 15-minute Muppet presentation, and the rest of the 3 hours and 45 minutes was a bust. Oh, these ticketed events. You know what?
Well,
everyone save your money, watch our vlogs, and you'll be happy.
The biggest problem with them, honestly, is it's a 4-hour event, which is really not enough time to like do everything. It's like you feel very frantic the whole time, and you can't really
trying to get
relax
everything
and
in.
enjoy yourself. Yeah. So like the Oogie Boogie Bash is 5 to 6 hours, depending on, I think it's 5 hours. But still, it's that extra hour really makes it, especially if you're gonna eat at some point, and things like that too. So that's,
now, do they let you in the park a little early? Like if you're a ticket holder for that? Okay, because they do that with the Halloween party out here too, and Christmas party.
They do, but the event things that you want to do doesn't start until the party time.
Sure.
So yeah.
Yeah, and with the Oogie Boogie Bash last year, they introduced Agatha from WandaVision. That was a centerpiece. That was a highlight to the whole night. But now they have to top that. They can't plateau. They've got to find something else.
They have to have Scarlet Witch and Wanda like fighting each other. Something.
So you were trying to come up with what made last year so great, and you just realized, oh, it was Agatha after all. Gotcha.
It was.
Okay. Yes. I feel like Disney just kind of backed into that and not realizing what character they had, and I mean, it happens sometimes because we fans will latch onto something that we think is awesome, but Disney's like, oh, y'all think that's awesome? Okay, cool. Merchandise. And so, that's what happens with all the walls out here, because people were taking all pictures of all the walls and stuff, and the Disney's like, hey, let's make this a thing now. And so, so we're always now looking for new things that Disney can't discover and make money off of.
The only way they can up their game is to have hippo people walking around from Moon Knight.
Oh, give it time.
If you have walking hippos, all right, you got a good review from us. We're not afraid to say how we really feel, Disney.
I'm just seeing it now. Chapek stumbles upon this episode. He's on the phone going, hey, Phil, what's a hippo person? Can we make money off this? Hey, can we make money off it? Let's get it. Let's do it. So,
do we have a show called Moon Knight? I guess. Just do something with it, okay?
Are we making money on it? Okay, that's good.
Speaking of, Bob, if you're hearing this, you owe me a few calls. I'm just throwing that out there.
Come on, Bob. We got some ideas. So I get to pick next, and I am picking the Disneyland Hotel. I love the hotel. When we were there in May, we stayed on a trip that we stayed at the Grand Californian for a couple of nights, which I like. I think it's beautiful, but I'm more nostalgic than anything else. And my wife was with me, and I was like, let's just do a night at the Disneyland Hotel, before we go home. And she's like, okay, of course we will. And so, she got to stay at 2 out of the 3 resorts, in one weekend, which was awesome. It's a beautiful hotel. It's historic,
so nice.
And it just looks cool. It's fun. Paradise Pier is okay. I'm interested to see how they do it with the Pixar stuff and how they renovate it and everything. And again, the Californian's awesome, but that's more bougie, like Jenn. Jenn's much more bougie than I am. She's my bougie queen. But yeah, Disneyland Hotel for me is just top notch. I love Disneyland Hotel. So, Jenn.
Jenn is bougie goals.
She really is. She really is. She really is. True story, guys. And I've told this story in the podcast before, where my wife was not that bougie at all, and then she met Jenn, and they became friends, and now she's got 4 Dooney and Burke purses, and now she's like, she will not touch a value resort for anything. And I mean, her feet don't touch anything less than moderate carpet. Deluxe is preferable, and Jenn's like, I'm so proud of her.
Just I feel like my work has not been for nothing.
And yes, just 4, but it's not for lack of trying. Trust me. All right, Jenn, go ahead.
All right. Well, speaking of, my next one was the Grand Californian, because I gotta have my bougie place to stay. I love everything about the Grand Californian, including there's that little restaurant-y bar area off the lobby. They have really good pizza. I'm just gonna throw that out there. It's very good.
Craftsman's Grill, I think.
That's it. You're right.
Yeah, because isn't it poolside?
No, there is one poolside as well. Okay. Yeah, but then you can eat indoors. There's indoor outdoor.
Yes. I got to eat there. It was very good. Breakfast was really, really good. So, and it's very majestic. The Californian is great. Do you guys get to stay at the hotels much? Do you ever just take a night and say, you know what, let's just stay at a hotel one night on property and just for the heck of it? I mean,
no, the only time we've done it is when we've been invited.
Mm-hmm.
So we've never paid
Gotcha.
paid for it, but we have stayed at the Grand Californian a couple nights.
Yeah, including our wedding night.
Yeah.
Oh,
I guess
nice.
that's the one time we
Yay.
did.
Nice.
Yeah. So-
Checked in at 3 a.m, checked out at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
So I didn't
I've
get
done
a
that.
chance to see
Yeah,
a
we
whole
probably
lot of it.
we probably should have checked in the day after the wedding
Yeah.
because we would have enjoyed it a little more probably. But it was still really fun.
Like, this
and
is a great hotel. It was,
this is-
wasn't it?
yeah, we took the opportunity to go on Grizzly River Run the next
Mhm.
day.
Oh my
so that we could
gosh.
just go change,
Right.
Smart.
because
Yeah, because I hate me some water rides at Disneyland.
Yes.
Oh.
I hate water rides because you're soaking afterwards. You're
Yep.
walking around, squish, squish, squish. It's like being at Disney World on any given day at noon.
Yeah.
You're just soaking.
Chafing.
You're walking around.
Chafing is never a
Not
good
if you're with
thing,
me. There's a
so-
rain one on there.
Yeah, that's true.
Good to know.
See?
All right.
Sarah, you get 2 picks. You get 2.
Oh my gosh. Ooh, okay. All right. Well, then my 2 picks are in Avengers Campus. This
Mhm.
makes my job easy.
Ooh.
All right. So I'm going to say that I love that Avengers Campus is constantly changing up their characters and adding characters based on the Disney Plus show of the week. So like Moon Knight, and it's really
Right.
funny because the Disney bloggers go nuts. They
Mm-hmm.
are like
Mhm.
all camping out on Wednesdays at Avengers Campus. But yeah, so like when Loki came out the first time, the first episode, he's in that jumpsuit. And so Loki, who was formerly in his big, garb with the big headdress,
Mhm.
shows up and he's in that little jumpsuit instead, his prison jumpsuit. And then the next week he's in his President Loki outfit. Like it's just so cool.
Oh, that's so cool.
Right?
Yeah. And then Moon Knight came out the very first day that Moon
Yeah.
Knight premiered. We have Ms. Marvel, and we also got to meet Scarlet Witch as
Mhm.
well.
That's so great.
So awesome.
That's awesome.
And they only last, like kind of the amount of time of the series, really,
Right.
and then they kind
Yeah.
of gradually fade away. So you gotta go. Like we're lucky that we live here, so we
Right.
can pretty much
So
go
it's-
and
you
catch
can- yeah.
all the
Right.
characters.
You got to go early too, because at like 3:00 they punch out.
Well, some
Yeah.
of them do. Moon Knight only comes out
Oh,
at dusk.
that
Yes.
makes sense though.
Right.
Yeah.
So
and
I-
as
we saw him,
impressive as Moon Knight is, the costume with the glowing eyes, after about 10 seconds, you're done with Moon Knight.
Yeah, because he's way up high.
And he's way up high, and he
Um,
just stares at you. It's like, are you gonna do something?
okay.
Are you gonna? I know you can't see in that mask because the lights, I'm sure, are blinding the actor's eyes. But do something, because after about 10, 15 seconds, like, okay, I'm ready for a turkey leg. And even with America Chavez, when she came out, when Doctor Strange 2 premiered, she's walking around, and I'm watching her walking around. It's like, is that America Chavez or just someone who's just dressed like her?
Yeah,
Because
her outfit
she
is
just wears
very-
regular clothes.
Right.
Right.
Oh,
But
yeah,
she
that would be
did.
hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they did put her in the Doctor Strange show
Yes.
because
Okay.
Doctor Strange, she helps out. She's
Mhm.
Doctor Strange's sidekick pretty much.
Sure.
In the film. And so, yeah, she came out. It was very brief time, but
we
it was
saw,
cool.
We saw her beforehand walking around, and no one knew who she was.
Yeah.
'Cause she's just a regular 16-year-old.
Yeah.
Huh.
And even with Miss Marvel.
Oh, I
regular-
love. No, she looks good. She looks
Mhm.
good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I would love to meet Scarlet Witch, which I know it's
She looked
Olsen,
awesome.
but I love Elizabeth Olsen, so I've loved her for even before the Avengers and before the whole Marvel thing, and watching her character just progress and grow into what she came into. I love it. I love all of that. So
Yeah, we
Yeah.
just saw her a couple of weeks ago, and Sarah was just going all fangirling out, and
right.
boy, she looked the part, she acted the part, she was like an
Wow.
A+ performer.
Mhm.
If
That's
Elizabeth
awesome.
Olsen ever says, you know what, I'm done with the whole MCU, this girl could easily slip right in.
Very cool. Sarah, you get another pick too. You got the Marvel characters.
Okay. So actually, I'm going to switch my answer and jump to Galaxy's Edge and
Mhm.
their characters. And I love that they have finally decided to loosen up their timeline
Ah.
of this silly in between Last Jedi and
The Rise of Skywalker.
Rise of Skywalker.
yeah.
Mhm.
and decide to bring in Boba Fett and Fennec Shan.
I love it.
And then in
I love
a
it.
like coming soon, Mandalorian and Grogu. I mean, come on, this is what we
amazing.
need. Yeah.
Right.
So I'm very, very happy they loosened up the reins on that because that was just silly.
Yeah, they were holding so tight to this timeline, and they worked very hard to establish this timeline and didn't want to break it. But guess who's going to care if they break the timeline? Nobody.
The fans want to see the characters, and they want to see the characters they know.
Exactly.
Because not everybody watches the shows. Not everybody sees all the shows or has Disney Plus. And so, if they see a character from whatever show, they're like, I don't know who that is, but I know who Boba Fett is. And so, they're the ones that call Grogu Baby Yoda because that's all they know.
Exactly.
And so, the fans need to see the characters they're familiar with, and that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, all right, Jen, you get the next pick.
Oh, gosh. Well, nobody's taken it yet. So I'm going to, oh my gosh, I just lost it. I was about to go Tower of Terror. It's not Tower of Terror.
Right.
Mission Breakout. I'm taking Mission Breakout.
That was on my list too.
Yes. I love Mission Breakout because Guardians is probably my favorite.
Mm-hmm. The one you're most familiar with.
It's not even, no, I mean, because I also love, I love all of Marvel that I've seen, but I haven't seen absolutely everything. I do love Black Widow very, very much. But in terms of like a team, how about that? In terms of my favorite team, it's going to be the Guardians. I don't know why. I think Rocket's hilarious. And
yeah.
Oh, it's one of the best MCU films out there. Just
it really is.
It really just bent the whole convention of what an MCU film is. Right. It was very snarky. It was very pop culture related.
Yes.
It had everything you ever really want, and the soundtrack,
fabulous,
is A plus all around. And that opening scene with Star-Lord dancing, it's like that is the best opening scene to any MCU film.
Yep,
hands down. It's like
the cue to that ride. The cue to that ride too is incredible. I love the cue to that. It is
so good.
Like there's something like 80-something Easter eggs in there. If you took the time to spot them all, they're just everywhere, and just it's so much.
But it's like kind of dim, so it's hard to even see. You know, all of the different Easter eggs, but I just love it. I love it every single time. I almost like it better than Tower of Terror. Almost.
I kind of.
You're in a safe zone. You can say that.
Nobody's listening. It's pretty great. Well, I am going to go with Soarin' over California specifically. Not the world, not Bendy Eiffel Tower, but Soarin' over California, the OG. Fair. The music, the smell, the orange smell, just all of that I love that ride. Probably one of my 2 or 3 favorite attractions out of all of Disney parks. Really good. It's just so great and so just calm and peaceful. And, when we first experienced it, I want to say in 2007 maybe, with a whole family group going. And my father-in-law, who's a little grumpy sometimes, and, he's kind of paid for everything.
I hope he doesn't listen.
Whatever. He got on the ride. It was one of the first things we did at Epcot that morning, and he got off the ride. He was like, that's a pretty good way to start the day. That's a pretty good ride. So I was like, you impressed, Ron? We're good. No, Soarin' over California is fantastic. So, love it. All right, Richard, you get 2.
All right, I'm going to be cliche here and say Rise of the Resistance.
Yes.
Oh, it's so good.
This and just I was trying to think
someone said it.
of something outside of the norm, but come on, it's Rise of the Resistance. There's so much going on there, and if you can't do Galactic Star Cruiser, do Rise of the Resistance. It's very immersive. It's very enthralling, and you get to be put inside of a Star Wars adventure. If you had shown me this ride when I was 8 years old, I'd be a big puddle of goo. My head would just explode. I wouldn't know how to handle something like this. Seeing actual AT-ATs, seeing stormtroopers or first order troopers, anything firing at you. You're in this adventure. You're plumped right down, plucked right into the middle of this thing where you are trying to get away from the First Order. You're on an adventure to save the Resistance, and it's just being in that one shuttle with Admiral Beck. Is just unbelievable, and there's always things going on in multiple screens.
So you can go on it multiple times and stand in a different spot.
And you can see something different every time, and that's what I like. One time I was like, wait, wait, how have I never seen this? I've been on like 8 times. I've never
Right.
seen this. Like,
It's a story. It's a full story.
Yeah.
It's not just a ride. And it's, I think for me, the one thing that, and because I had seen pictures of the AT-ATs, and I was excited when I saw this in person. I was like, this is amazing. But when you go through towards the end of it there, where the big guns are going back and forth, as
oh
big gun
yeah,
It's
Turbo
like-
lasers.
yeah, I never thought about like, okay, if you're watching you're watching a Star Cruiser or whatever, and it's shooting Star Destroyer, and they're shooting, how big those guns must be. Well, this is how big they are, and it's just it's mind blowing to kind of put your mind around. Oh, the size of what we're looking at is this is awesome.
I always hope the ride breaks down at that one spot, because I want to take in the scale of those big turbo lasers. And you look to the right and you see these big crystal clear viewports that look out into space.
Yeah.
It's like literally looking through a window there.
The technology is amazing.
It's an
It's
incredible ride.
it's phenomenal. Phenomenal.
So good. So good.
Yeah, so there's just so much to go on with Riders of the Resistance, and I love how it really does tie into Galactic Star Cruiser. So the story team and Imagineers have worked really hard at entangling all of these adventures, and they did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, and you get one more.
I'm gonna say the Mickey and Friends parking structure.
Good.
What?
We need to park to get there. You're dealing with a parking lot now.
Ever since we got a plug-in car, we can now park on the bottom level. Don't need to go down 15 escalators, 3 flights of stairs, and an elevator and a dumbwaiter. We can just park right on that bottom level and walk right into the park.
And charge my car so it costs 0 gas money to get to and from Disneyland.
It costs like $1.50 to charge the car.
Yep.
That's awesome. Something I never would have needed, honestly. It's so
That's so funny.
But now when they say, all the ports, all the charging stations are used up, you gotta go with the muggles and go upstairs and park up there. It's like,
right. Then it's bad.
Yeah, it's like we're slumming it.
Yeah.
The commoners, the poor peoples,
the commoners.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say Sleeping Beauty Castle. Because I love the castle.
One.
I do, and of course I like Cinderella a little bit better because it's bigger, blah blah blah. But there's something about being able to walk through the castle, not just walk straight through it from one side to the other, but kind of going that stair step through, seeing all the artwork and everything, kind of seeing the castle itself. And there's something cool about the fact it's the original castle. It's Walt's castle. It's the one he put together. And so yeah, I love Sleeping Beauty Castle. I think it's amazing and beautiful, and it's one of those things that people who are Disney World people, they go there and they're like, oh, it's so tiny. But at the same time, there is just so much history there behind it that I just happen to love. So that's it for me. Jen.
I'm going to take World of Color because nobody has taken it yet. And I need a nighttime spectacular. And World of Color is probably my favorite one. Maybe of all of the parks. It's a
good show.
Love it. It's
a real
so
good show.
I remember the first time we saw it back, when Brady and I went in 2014 question mark, maybe. That was our first time. And we were like, oh my gosh, okay, we're gonna see World of Color. We had no idea what to expect. And Brady is like, he would rather ride rides during that time frame. Like normally he's like, let's just go on a ride. But I was like, no, we're gonna watch World of Color. We did the Carthy Circle, so we had like the party things, we had the seating, and he watched it and he goes, I like that one. He's like, that one was fabulous. So that got his 2 thumbs up, and it's just the music, everything, perfect.
Love it.
It is beautiful, and I love how they've rethemed it for various Christmas or holidays. Yeah.
Well,
It is nice.
The whole
so
Parts of the
versatile.
Caribbean scene is just phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
So good. so good.
Love it. All right, Sarah, you get your last 2 here, and this will round out your 5. And so
I get 2. Okay,
You
good.
get 2,
Because I was trying to choose between. So it's really funny. You guys are all choosing rides, and I'm such a local. I'm like choosing various random character experiences and things. And I'm going to keep on going with this theme because Richard and I often go to the park to eat or chill or relax. So I
never ride the rides.
Right? We don't hardly ever ride the rides. So I'm going to choose, first of all, Jolly Holiday Bakery.
nice.
I love that one.
Oh,
Yes, not only for the themes, because I mean, Mary Poppins, my favorite Disney film, I have to say. Yeah. right?
Yep.
So the theming is great. I love the proximity. You can grab a seat. You always mobile order. Grab a seat. You can see the castle. You can see Main Street. You can also, if you go around the corner, you can sit and listen to the piano player play at Refreshment Corner, which I love. And then Richard, you and I at the end of the night often will mobile order the Matterhorn macaroons and take them home for the week. And oh my God, those are the best ever. And yes, we love our Jolly Holiday Bakery.
And their grilled cheese and tomato soup.
Oh, that too.
Oh, wait, I haven't had that there.
Oh, it's good.
You haven't lived.
Yeah.
I'm going to fix that. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Fam
It
to
is so
Disneyland
yummy.
2023, Jen. Make it happen. Agency trip. Make it happen.
Oh, I think I
It's
should
so
switch
good.
this year's.
We could. I'd be all about it. We could. So,
Yeah. So I get one more?
you get one more? Yep.
Okay. My other one also has to do with drinks. So like I love Disneyland and it's kind of the traditional park, but everyone loves Disneyland.
Right.
And it gets very crowded. So honestly, DCA, we love DCA because it's a little more chill. You can drink over there. And so like for my birthday, we went up to the Magic Key Lounge, which is overlooking Cars Land and Avengers Campus. It's up on the second floor of what is that called? Like the Golden Vine Winery.
Okay.
And so we went up there and they have fancy special drinks that you can drink. And we were up there for 2 hours on my birthday, just chilling as the sun was setting and drinking and
recording videos
about the drinks. And just,
Right.
it was just a fun, great time. And I just love to hang out at DCA and drink with my friends. So, and my husband.
Like it.
Yes.
So Sarah has Fantasmic, the Marvel characters, the Star Wars characters, Jolly Holiday Bakery, and the Magic Key Lounge. So Jen, you've got Pirates of the Caribbean, Mission Breakout, World of Color, the Grand Californian, and what is your final thing on your list?
This is a tough one, but since I have not grabbed a restaurant yet, I am going to also grab a restaurant because I'm going to be hungry. So I'm going to take Carthy Circle Restaurant based on Carthy Circle Theater.
One.
It's so good. I love the theming inside too. It's so pretty.
Yeah.
So
nice.
It's so good.
And yummy.
Nice.
I was there on opening day. We were there.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
We did for my graduation party. Yeah.
Oh, that's
That was
so cool.
2009?
2012.
2012.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. June 15th, I believe it was. June
Wow.
12th or 15th. I forget. Yeah. But yeah, it was awesome. We were there for 2-3 hours.
So I grabbed Radiator Springs Racers, Disneyland Hotel. I grabbed Sleeping Beauty Castle and Soarin' Over California. And my final pick is going to be simply corn dogs in Disneyland.
Oh.
The trolley is what I'm thinking of, obviously, but there's several places to get corn dogs, including the place in Disney Springs, or down to Disney, excuse me, that I got the pickle corn dog that had the cheese stuff on it and everything. Gosh. And so I tried that, which was interesting. But there's something special about a corn dog in Disneyland. It's just good. It's just really, really, really good. So, yeah, I don't mind waiting for 10, 15 minutes for a good corn dog there at Disneyland. And so, yeah, I'm picking corn dogs at Disneyland because they're just good.
Have we ever had? I don't think we've ever had the corn dogs.
Oh, they're great. Now, they don't sell the pickle corn dog anymore. They only sold that for a limited time.
David is a corn dog connoisseur.
Yes, I'm a corn dog connoisseur. But they did sell it. Well, they basically had a pickle within a wiener battered up, and then it had cheese dust all over it. And it was one of those random things. When you cut it in half, it had a very cool, almost like the rings in a tree. You had the brown and the green and the batter and whatever. Interesting flavor. I ate about half of it, and I was like, I'm done. I can't eat any more of this. But but yeah. So there we go. All right. So Richard, Galaxy's Edge. You got Oogie Boogie Bash. You got Rise of the Resistance, and of course you got the Mickey and Family Friends parking structure, and the Galaxy's Edge merchandise. You had that. So what is the final thing on your list to round us out?
I'm gonna go with Star Tours.
Oh,
Because after 11 years of going on Star Tours, countless times, I've never been the Rebel Spy.
No, really?
Sarah has been Rebel Spy 8.5 times. We have friends who have been Rebel Spy 10 times, 2 times, 15 times. Me, Never. It's like they go through everyone. Oh, there's Richard. Go over him, and who's the next person? In fact, we're even making a little documentary about it. How I've never been the rebel spy.
Funny story. My kid was the rebel spy when we went in March.
I'm sure he was.
But in honor of Richard, you know, where they show it the second time, where they go back and they're like, this rebel spy, and they show the picture again. Whatever reason, the projection didn't work, so we didn't get to see it. I had my camera ready to take a picture this time, so we only saw it one time, but not the second time. And I'm like, this must be the spirit of Richard Woloski right here, ensuring that while we're the rebel spy, my kid has no proof of it whatsoever. So.
Well, you know, I would even take that at this point.
Knowing it had happened.
If the flight attendant came out and said, yeah, you're a rebel spy, you know, I don't need to document it. I just need to know that it was, after all these years, it was me. Because I get the feeling this is a conspiracy theory. It has to be. Someone's behind all this. I just can't miss out 11 years in a row. It just can't happen.
Now it's just a joke. They see you come in, they're like, Richard's here. Richard fixed him.
Do not
pick him.
True alert.
Do not.
Yeah, we once walked into their break room. There's pictures of me all over the place. Do not pick him.
Right?
You will be terminated if he is the rebel spy.
Oh, I almost picked Richard. Oh, man, I need this job. Well, that is our list of our 5 favorite things in our little Disneyland draft. So, Rich and Sarah, tell us a little bit about Skywalking Through Neverland, the empire you guys have, where we can find you, the podcast to listen to. And, you know, we have the book and stuff. We'll definitely talk about the book online. So tell us a little bit about you guys and what you guys are up to right now.
Okay, so we have our Skywalking Network, which includes a lot of great shows, not only Skywalking Through Neverland, but we have Star Warsologies, which is Star Wars and science. We have the Max Effects podcast, which is all about behind the scenes of special effects in film. And yeah, what else?
And we have... Why did your mind go blank?
I know.
right. Then we have a Planet of the Apes podcast called Talking Apes, where we center on the vintage Planet of the Apes. Sarah and her friends have got a podcast called Totally Tell Me Everything.
That's right. That's about Bryn and I. We talk about one subject every episode, and we just delve into it very, very deeply.
As well as the Neverland Clubhouse.
The Neverland Clubhouse.
All about Disney.
Yeah, that's like kind of our Disney and Disney Parks podcast. In fact, Courtney and Kelly, who I do the podcast with, they're sisters. They are at Walt Disney World right now on like this amazing 10-day trip. Yeah. Nice. So they are having fun. They're going to have a lot of trip reports to share. So all of that can be found at skywalkingthrough-neverland.com. If you're interested in the book, it is skywalkingthrough-neverland.com/book. And from there, you can either grab an autographed copy along with a whole package, which comes with a special bag that I've designed and a pin.
I got the bag.
Yeah, you got the whole set, the
the
bookmark and the button. So that will all come from us. Or you can head to Amazon, and links to Amazon can be found at any of our social media as well.
Yeah. Is it better for you as an author to buy it directly from your website? Is it money wise? Yeah, that's what I did, was buy it directly from the website. And so
we love Amazon printing. They did a great job. The printing is just crystal clear. But you buy through them, and we get like 15 cents a book.
Right.
But then we don't have to ship it and all that. But still, we like to put our special touch on it. That's why we made a package.
And then I would like to know who's buying the book. So if we can reach out to them and say thank you for your support.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Along with all of that, we also have an ever-growing YouTube channel where we have so much in the way of diversity in terms of Disney parks to Star Wars content. All of our panels that we hosted at a Star Wars Celebration are now up on our YouTube channel. Sarah and I and a couple of friends went up to the filming locations where they shot The Mandalorian up here in Simi Valley, California.
Oh, so cool.
We made a video around that, so anyone who wants to go there will know what to do and what not to do when going to those locations, because we didn't have that list before going, and we regretted it. But now if our suffering can help those, then it's all worth it.
And we also did videos for all the Disneyland After Dark nights that we were talking about, including Oogie Boogie Bash as well. So all of those vlogs and videos and food reviews, like people love the food reviews, those are all up on our YouTube channel channel too. So you can search YouTube for Skywalking Thru Neverland.
So much
and
content.
Yeah.
Great.
And please subscribe. And we go live from the parks when we're there. So we try to give you like shows or show the parade, like the Main Street Electrical Parade.
Right.
When it first came out that first day, we did a live stream. So yeah.
We should name a podcast after that, Jen.
Oh my gosh, that's a great idea. Oh my gosh.
That's the name of the podcast. I love it.
Yeah, we saw the opening of that and almost got into a big fight with some of the cast members.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, these three people just stood right in our way and everyone else's way. It's like, if you stood like 10 feet back, we can all see right now. All we're seeing are your backs. Like, sir, can you please go back under the ropes? Yeah, I will if you'll move to the back with me because we can't see if you're standing there. Unfortunately, we didn't get that on video. But also on our YouTube channel, we have a specialized show called Collectopolis, which is all about collecting. Mm-hmm. So we get a ton of stuff on our YouTube channel. It's like, why just do one thing when you can do a million?
Yep.
No, that gives you good content, though. It's awesome.
Rich and Sarah, this has been wonderful.
So
love
great.
talking to you guys. Love hearing everything you guys got going on. I don't know how you had free time for us, but I'm glad you carved it out. Because I'm sure you're about to turn off the mics and go right back into whatever you guys were doing, working and podcasting and
writing
volume 2, things like that.
And now, if it's late, we know who to point our fingers at.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you guys very much, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
All right.
Neverland on Alderaan.
Thank you for listening to the Main Street Electrical Podcast. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at the MSE Podcast, or visit our website at themsepodcast.com. Be sure to subscribe, and may all your wishes come true.